Right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to the 173rd Annual General Meeting of Suffolk Building Society, and a particularly special welcome if this is your first time at an AGM. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Peter Elcock, Chairman of the Society. At the outset, I would like to place on record my thanks to our outgoing Chairman, Alan Harris, for his dedication and superb leadership of the Society and the Board. Alan served a total of 11 years with the Society, and he brought great distinction and outstanding stewardship, working tirelessly to deliver improvements and promote excellent governance, leaving our Society in a stable, settled and strong position and in a very good place with the regulators. I'm indeed privileged to have served under Alan and to now assume his role. This AGM is being broadcast live online, and so I extend a welcome to those who are watching and following the meeting. I would like to formally thank our special guest for the evening, Dr. Amir Khan, who will be known to many of you and who will be introduced formally later. Thank you, Dr. Khan, for taking the time to spend with us this evening, and we look forward very much to your talk. There are a few points of administration I need to mention. We are not expecting a fire, but should the fire alarm sound, please make your way carefully and slowly to the nearest exit. Members of the team will show the way and provide assistance if needed. Please can I ask that mobile phones be switched off or turned to silent? Thank you. That is the end of the administrative matters. I will now make some introductions. Joining me on the stage here are our Board of Directors, Steve Reed, Deputy Chairman and Chair of our Board Risk and Compliance Committee, Fiona Ryder, Senior Independent Director, Steve Liddle, Chair of our Audit Committee, Elaine Link, Chair of our Remuneration Committee, Sian Hill, Non-Executive Director, Richard Norrington, our Chief Executive, from whom you will hear shortly, Rebecca Newman, our Chief Operating Officer, and Paul Johnson, our Chief Financial Officer. I'll now summarise the agenda for this evening. This annual general meeting is the formal part of the evening where we present you, our members, the report and accounts, and we ask for your approval of these and for the appointment and reappointment of our directors and auditors. We also ask for your approval of our directors' people, wellbeing and remuneration report. I will spend a few minutes highlighting key aspects of the Society's performance last year and then ask you to vote on the various resolutions if you have not already voted. If you have not already voted, you should have received a voting form as you arrived this evening. If you do not have one, please raise your hand and a member of staff will happily bring one to you. Thank you. Later, we will collect in your voting papers, and whilst the votes are being counted, I will take the opportunity to announce the winner of the David Coe Customer Service Award for this year. I will then hand over to Richard Norrington, our Chief Executive, who will share his reflections on the last year. After this, we will consider questions from members, including any that we have had submitted online. Finally, I will announce the results of the voting on the resolutions before bringing the AGM to a close, following which Fiona Ryder will introduce our guest, Dr. Amir Khan. So, I will now start the formal part of the AGM. Starting with apologies for absence, we have 3 members who have given apologies. Secondly, the minutes of the Annual General Meeting held on the 23rd of March 2022 have been read and signed by Alan Harris as Chairman of that meeting. I will take these as read, but if anyone would like to read them, please could you indicate now and we will provide you with a copy. Thank you. As I alluded to earlier, I will now briefly cover the UK economic backdrop, key aspects of the Society's financial and business performance, together with some personal reflections before we move to the resolutions and voting. Starting with the geopolitical situation, the UK economy and mortgage savings conditions in the market. This last year saw us emerge from COVID. It is lovely to see so many, if not all, without face masks, no longer obliged to engage in the social distancing, which was a feature of our lives for so long. How wonderful it is to have our freedom and liberties back. However, the conflict in Ukraine has brought further tragedy and great sadness and unrest for so many. At home, we have felt the impact of increased inflation, driven by factors such as higher energy costs, food, fruit and vegetable shortages, increased fuel costs, and the higher prices for other everyday essential items. This and staff shortages in some areas has put a strain both on businesses and personal finances as the cost of living crisis bites. Coupled with political uncertainty in the UK, several changes in Prime Minister, and the disruption caused by the mini-budget and resultant market dislocation back in October of last year, this caused damaging volatility and a confidence crisis in the financial markets. Ongoing interest rate rises to control inflation, good for savers, but not so good for borrowers, particularly those coming off historically low mortgage fixed-term rate deals, has caused further challenges. Thankfully, most forecasters and commentators are suggesting interest rate rises and inflation may not be as steep as prolonged as first feared, with things looking to stabilise and improve from next year onwards. Let's all hope so. Turning now to the Society's financial performance, despite my rather gloomy comments just now, notwithstanding these challenges, your Society has performed very strongly. I'm delighted to say profit before tax was £5.9 million, more than twice the £2.9 million in the previous year, which has significantly fortified our capital position and augmented the strength and safety of the Society. Our mortgage assets grew 7% from £615 million to £655 million, reflecting existing and new members' appetite to do business with us. We enjoyed very healthy demand for the attractiveness and competitiveness of our mortgage products. The Society is highly liquid, i.e. we are very well able to manage day-to-day short-term cash demands and any particular market-related stresses. We comfortably exceed our regulatory requirements in this respect, providing comfort and assurance to our members. I'll now turn to some awards that we've had the privilege of winning. Staying on the positive theme, in addition to being awarded Best Building Society, the Society's mortgage business was highly commended for Best Specialist Mortgage Provider at the British Bank Awards. Also, your Society was highly commended for Regional Lending Provider at the Money Facts Awards. This is a prestigious and very highly regarded industry benchmark. These are tremendous achievements indeed and reflect the professionalism, expertise, innovation and great service provided by our excellent, hard-working and committed staff, of which we are all so proud. ESG, Environmental, Social and Governance Matters, known as ESG as they are now grouped and collectively branded. These are a high priority in all businesses and social enterprises and consume much necessary board management and staff time and investment. Thankfully, ESG is entirely consistent with the Society's own values, our business model, the community in which we work, and the way we are governed and managed. Whilst a new concept for some, ESG is not for us. We have been living and breathing these important standards since our birth in 1849. It is very much part of being a mutual, and I'm proud of our commitment to investment in and our overall strategic approach in this increasingly important subject. Looking forward to transformation and strategic change for the Society, notwithstanding our excellent financial performance, healthy business pipeline, and enjoying a strong and stable financial position, we are always thinking about and planning for the future. We have exciting projects in train to safely and prudently prepare us for the future and ensure we remain strong, valid, competitive and confident about our future as an important Suffolk business. We want to continue to provide first-class service attractive and competitive product offerings, and our leading member proposition. This year, we are prioritising a refresh of our website for members and brokers, a new mortgage origination system, and a new e-savings platform, which will enable us to offer an exciting modern digital proposition. These projects require significant investment, which we are able to fund from our strong profits and which, whilst requiring considerable senior management and board time and focus, will ensure we provide increased efficiencies, market-leading offerings, improve business effectiveness, and enhance our members' experience of us. Governance. I would like to place on record my thanks to my colleagues, your Board of Directors and the CEO and the Executive Management team for supporting me in exercising and living and breathing strong governance. This is essential for the proper, thorough and correct running of our business and adherence to the Corporate Governance Code and the exacting standards set by the regulators, and of course, the expectation of our members, partners and the broader market. The annual report details the various board and executive committees we have in place to exercise proper scrutiny, oversight and the administration of our business. I'm proud to be a member of such a strong, talented, diverse and united board. Each member brings their own blend of experience, expertise and specialism for the benefits of the society, and I'm grateful for their support and contribution. In closing, I would just like to leave you with a summary of three conclusions and reflections. Financially, the society is in a comfortable and strong position, profitable, liquid and healthy capital, all of which make us safe and stable, and we also have a very promising business pipeline. Looking to the future, secondly, none of us knows what the future order will be and how the current Ukraine conflict, power shifts in the geopolitical arena and ongoing volatility in British politics will pan out. Just very recently, of course, we had the well-publicised failure of US bank, Silicon Valley Bank, and a couple of other high-profile failures of US secondary banks swiftly followed. The US government moved immediately to resolve the issue and provide the necessary assurances, but nevertheless, bank shares around the world have reduced sharply because of fears about contagion and concerns about the safety of the broader sector. This was followed just last weekend by the failure of Credit Suisse, a Swiss and global institution, indeed a Swiss icon, I read in the newspaper yesterday. Credit Suisse is one of the world's 30 globally systemically important banks, or GSIBs as they are known, which are deemed too big to fail. I think the speed with which this happened took everybody by surprise. Ultimately, a rescue package was agreed with Union Bank of Switzerland, UBS, but nevertheless it sent shockwaves around the world and resulted in considerable concern and volatility in the global banking sector. However, I am confident that we, as a Suffolk Building Society, are well prepared. We are thoroughly and skillfully resourced with excellent and loyal staff, and we are future-oriented, not only in being well set for strong continued financial performance, but in the change programmes we have scoped, budgeted for, and are now actively implementing. Finally, loyalty and confidence. I would like to recognise and acknowledge you, our members, for your support and loyalty during what I accept has been a difficult, uncertain and challenging year. We look forward to continue working with you in 2023 and 2024 and beyond. Thank you once again for your presence this evening. Thank you. Having concluded my personal reflections on what has been a great year for the Society, I will now move to the resolutions, some of which require a proposer and seconder, which I will cover when relevant. I would firstly like to commend the annual report and accounts to the members, which is the first resolution. Resolution 2 is to approve the Directors' People, Wellbeing and remuneration report, which is included on page 33 of the annual report and was also included in the review of the year, which was sent to members with a notice of this annual general meeting. There have been no substantive changes to our approach to directors' remuneration this year. Non-executive directors receive a basic fee with a supplementary payment for holding key statutory positions such as chairman of a committee. Executive directors receive a basic salary which is reviewed on an annual basis and can also benefit from a performance-related pay scheme if certain set targets are achieved. Within the report, we have also detailed our approach to the financial well-being of our staff members. This year, with inflation rising to double figures and the impact on living costs, the board decided to make a one-off payment of £1,000 to the majority of employees, with part-time and full-time staff receiving the same amount and Saturday member assistants receiving a flat amount of £100. The unprecedented economic pressure on households also had a significant influence on pay decisions this year, with salaries for employees increasing by 4% from June 2022. This was the largest annual increase by the Society in recent years, reflecting our commitment to provide cost of living support to our staff. We are not required to seek your formal approval for this report. However, we think it is in the interest of good governance and transparency that members have a say. I propose that the Director People Wellbeing and Remuneration Report is approved. Could I have a seconder, please? Thank you. Resolution 3 is to reappoint BDO LLP as auditor. An annual requirement for this meeting is for you to consider and, if thought fit, pass an ordinary resolution to reappoint our auditors. I propose that BDO is reappointed as auditor. Please, can I have a seconder? Thank you. Resolution 4 is to elect and re-elect the Society's directors. It is proposed that Rebecca Newman and Peter Elcock are elected as directors, and Richard Norrington, Steve Reed and Elaine Lenk are re-elected as directors. Please, can I have a proposer? Thank you. And a seconder, please. Thank you. For those of you who have not already voted and requested a form earlier, please kindly cast your votes now on the papers provided and pass to a member of the team. These will be collected and added to votes which have been cast online, posted to us or collected in branches. Thank you. I'm delighted to present the David Coe Award. The David Coe Award is presented to members of staff who have demonstrated excellent customer care and focus which exceeds the normal requirements of their role. Staff nominate their colleagues and the award can be given to those working in branch and at head office. It is always a difficult decision and we received some wonderful nominations this year. But after much consideration, I'm very pleased to announce our winner. This individual joined the Society in June 2021 at our Woodbridge branch and in 18 months has been promoted to a senior member assistant role. Their customer service is often complimented by colleagues and they received several nominations for this award, one highlighting their commitment, passion and enthusiasm in helping both members and colleagues. This individual also regularly receives glowing Smart Money People reviews, with members commenting on their welcoming nature, professionalism and knowledge. One member recently fed back that it was a pleasure to be served by such a courteous and polite young man. In their short time with the Society so far, this individual has also supported the local community through delivering financial education to local high schools and volunteering with Suffolk Wildlife Trust. Recently, they showed commitment to members by spotting an attempted fraud on a member's account, taking prompt action to ensure the fraud was stopped at source with no member funds put at risk. The Board of Directors and I would like to thank this individual for their true dedication and commitment to providing excellent customer care. They are an asset to the branch and the society. The winner of the 2022 David Coe Award is Benny Townley. Thank you. I want to hand over to our Chief Executive, Richard Norrington.
Well done, Benny. That's a great result. Good evening to all of you. So I would like to echo Peter's words and warmly welcome you, our members and guests, to this, our 173rd Annual General Meeting. It's a huge honour to have special guest Dr. Amir Khan join us this evening, and I very much look forward to hearing his talk on nature and well-being. The successes of 2022, our first full year as Suffolk Building Society, can be summed up in the Best Building Society Award we received in May. Widely recognised as the ultimate symbol of excellence across the banking industry, the British Bank Awards are decided by those who matter most to us, you, our members. This made our win all the more pleasing. And I was thrilled to be told on Monday of this week that we have once again reached the finals of these awards. For 2023, we have been shortlisted in the categories of Best Building Society Savings Provider, Best Specialist Mortgage Provider, and Best Building Society. The reviews and votes which awarded us this huge accolade last year demonstrate how much our friendly, face-to-face proposition is valued. Our established branch network, operated by helpful, knowledgeable staff, is at the heart of our savings model. And it's our people who make the difference in the mortgage business too, the majority of which is arranged in collaboration with the broker market. We have secured an excellent reputation for our manual underwriting and flexible approach, and our mortgage teams regularly score top marks when benchmarked against competitors. A talented workforce helps us improve our performance year on year. However, it's vital that we successfully navigate the headwinds and tailwinds of the economy and the housing market. 2022 was arguably the most eventful economic year since the global financial crisis of 2008. Global challenges such as the post-pandemic recovery and the conflict in Ukraine have coincided with high inflation and low growth. Back home, a mini-budget and changes within government caused market volatility and a sharp increase in both the Bank of England base rate and swap rates. And in simple terms, swap rates reflect what lenders pay to financial institutions to swap the fixed mortgage products to variable returns. Volatility in swap rates makes it more difficult for banks and building societies as there is market uncertainty. And as a result of this uncertainty, coupled with the operational pressures caused by the extremely high volume of applications for fixed rate mortgages in the rising rate market, we, along with many other lenders, took the decision to temporarily withdraw from the mortgage market. In an attempt to control inflation, the Bank of England raised the base rate 8 times during our financial year. The last month saw the 10th rise in a row, and it's eyes down again at noon tomorrow to see if that becomes 11. When we respond to base rate rises by the central bank, our independence allows us to make decisions that balance the needs of savers and borrowers. The objective of the base rate rises is to reduce borrowing and to increase saving, and we have a responsibility to support the Bank of England in its attempts to get inflation under control. We have, of course, done what we can as a mutual society to support borrowing members. To help support with the cost of living crisis, we have established a payment shock task force to proactively contact those whose mortgage payments are set to rise by over £200 per month. Our levels of arrears and repossessions remain low, and our supportive approach is appreciated by members. In a year of huge uncertainty and change, I'm delighted to report that our mortgage teams completed 670 mortgages, and with our agile and innovative product team launching an impressive 365 products. But we recognise the impact of inflation on savers too, and have increased rates wherever possible. On each occasion that we raised our standard variable rate for borrowers, we have also rewarded savers, with higher rates on variable savings on a product-by-product basis. And during the year, we have also introduced new fixed-rate savings products. And I'm pleased to report that the Society opened 3,743 new accounts during the year, which included 1,522 new savings members. 2021 saw us roll out and embed our new name and new brand values. And the focus of 2022 has been to embed an ambitious environmental, social and governance strategy across the Society. And we believe that economic growth is closely connected with the well-being of society at large and the protection of our planet. This is not a new concept for us. Since 1849, the Society has been committed to improving the social position of people in our communities. So I'm proud that this central mission continues today. We have embarked on new strategic charitable partnerships, which will support two distinct campaigns over the next 3 years. Safe Homes for Suffolk will support homelessness charities, Emmaus Suffolk and Ipswich Housing Action Group, as well as Lighthouse Women's Aid. The Saving Suffolk campaign aims to protect wildlife and nature by aligning ourselves to Suffolk Wildlife Trust. This includes supporting the Trust with the creation of a new 289-acre nature reserve, Martlesham Wilds. I'm delighted to welcome key representatives from all 4 charity partners to our AGM this evening, and they are available afterwards for you to learn more about the crucial work they do in Suffolk. We are supporting these 4 organisations in part through financial contributions, but also through sharing our skilled resource in the form of staff volunteering. Teams from the Society have taken part in several wild work days with Suffolk Wildlife Trust, and colleagues are using their 4 hours volunteering allowance a month to provide professional support and expertise. We have a team of 12 environmental, social and governance champions across all areas of the Society, driving forward a programme of new initiatives and change. And in addition to financial and volunteering support, we are using our reach across the county to shine a light on homelessness and the environment, and engaging you, our members. To further support these campaigns, we are producing a series of short films to inform and inspire action. And I'm delighted that we'll be premiering the first of these films later this evening. I would now like to turn my attention to the first of 3 brand values, membership, and what it means to us. As a member-owned society, our annual general meeting is more than just a mere formality. Just as we regularly measure the engagement of our staff, our AGM allows us to measure the engagement levels of our members. Every member who attends and every vote received counts. And we welcome every question posed to us this evening. Our customer-facing staff gain feedback from members on a daily basis, but for staff in non-customer-facing roles, our AGM is a great opportunity to meet you. Each person featured in our brand photography is a member of the Society. And our latest photo shoot with our Suffolk-based photographer was oversubscribed with volunteers. We're always humbled that our members are proud of their association with us and wish to become brand advocates. One of the ways in which we've successfully engaged with our members in the past has been through our hugely popular member events. We are running a series of member events at Martlesham Wiles this spring and summer, which will include a tour of the new nature reserve. And as you'll see in the film to come, I've experienced Martlesham Wiles for myself, and I know these events will prove popular. Other member events for 2023 will be announced very soon. Next, I'd like to share an update on our second brand value, accessibility. Our current proposition involves a choice of face-to-face, email, website, and telephone contact, and our website allows members to access information 24/7, and we continually seek to improve its look, feel, and interactive functionality. And I'm thrilled to share news of our latest position on e-savings. We have engaged a supplier, signed contracts, and work on designing and building the system has commenced. Some online savings capability will come later this year, with a gradual rollout into 2024 to ensure we can service different account types online. The online service is in no way a replacement of our tried and tested branch network. It will instead complement our face-to-face offering and provide members with more choice in how they manage their savings. On the lending side, the planned introduction of a new and improved mortgage origination platform will enable our intermediary partners to support digital customer onboarding and allow a faster mortgage application process. Live streaming of our AGM began last year in response to COVID-19, and we've decided to continue this to cater for members who may have other commitments, which mean they are unable to attend this evening in person. Being more accessible is fundamental as we attempt to be as inclusive as possible and reach a wider, more diverse audience. As a mutual, we're driven by doing what's right, not what shareholders might demand, which leads me on to our third and final brand value, community. Once again, the Society has played an active part in supporting our local communities. When the conflict in Ukraine started in February 2022, we immediately used our branch network to accept monetary donations to be distributed by the Red Cross. To date, £2,995 has been raised. And when Suffolk Community Foundation launched its Surviving Winter fundraising campaign, we once again gave our full support. In addition to our new strategic partnerships, we were also able to donate over £19,000 to local charities thanks to one of our affinity savings accounts. We welcomed over 800 people through the doors of our flagship branch, Mutual House in Ipswich, for Heritage Open Day in September. In addition to tours of this historic building, our archivist, Margaret Hancock, took guests on walking tours of Ipswich to highlight the homes the Society built around St Nicholas Street in the 1890s. And at the core of our community is the Society's 160 staff who support our members with their savings and mortgages. Our staff culture has always been first rate, and it improves year on year. It's a supportive environment where colleagues can speak up and know their views will be respected. In 2022, we launched a new behaviours framework, which means that how people go about achieving their annual objectives is fundamental. Every one of us is encouraged to be inclusive, caring and authentic, as well as professional and progressive, courageous and collaborative, to name just a few of our desired behaviours. Every 6 months, we invite our staff to tell us anonymously how engaged they are with the Society, and I'm delighted to report that our staff engagement score rose by 2 percentage points from the previous survey to 76.6%, and we're now considered to be in the engaged employer quadrant. We celebrated International Women's Day earlier this month by showcasing the steps we're taking towards gender equity. In 2021, we signed the Women in Finance Charter. This demonstrates our commitment to achieving 40% female representation in senior management by November 2024. We started out at 33% and are making progress, with new initiatives such as gender-balanced interview panels and gender balance within our talent pipeline. We currently have 44% female representation on our board, and continue our commitment to diversity and inclusion to ensure a diverse workforce. So, with strategic charitable partners, environmental, social and governance champions across the business, a relaunched volunteering programme and 2 distinct campaigns centred around safe homes and saving Suffolk, we are setting ourselves apart from our competitors. We continue to invest in our communities, do the right thing and innovate by launching new products and services that improve accessibility and member experience. Despite a challenging external environment and a significant change agenda internally, financial performance has been carefully managed across all areas of the society. We are on a sound footing to achieve our vision of being a strong, growing, fiercely independent building society. Now, before I hand back to Peter for the voting results and questions, I would like to ask one small request, which is, as is customary, we'd like a photo, please, to commemorate our 173rd AGM. So I'd now like to welcome our photographer, Cherry, to come up to the stage, here she is, and take a photo of you, our members, who make up this successful society. Thank you, and welcome, Cherry. Here we go.
I'm going to do it in 3 blocks, if that's all right, because I just can't get you all in. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you, Cherry. Brilliant. Good, thank you very much.
Thank you, Cherry. Thank you, Richard. So whilst the votes are being counted, I will take the opportunity to review members' questions for the annual general meeting. We haven't had any questions submitted online during the course of the AGM. We have had 43 questions in writing. All have had individual replies, and the questions and answers are posted at the back of the room on the 4 boards there. All questions and answers will be posted on the website within a week of tonight's annual general meeting. I have reviewed all the questions, and so far there are some key themes that have emerged, which I'll pick up on now and summarise the answers that we've given. The first theme relates to our branches, where they are and whether we will have any more. We have 9 branches and 1 agency in Suffolk. We are committed to maintaining our local presence and serving our local community. But we do have to balance this with the need to manage our expense base to ensure that we can also continue to provide competitive products for our members. We therefore do not have any current plans to open new branches, but we are actively looking at how best we can serve as much of the local population as possible. Related to this theme is the second theme in the questions, which is around the Society's ability to offer an online savings service. As Richard mentioned, I can confirm that we have started a project to launch an online savings service later this year. This will be rolled out in phases and will give members more choice over how they manage their accounts with us. However, linking back to the first theme, we remain committed to delivering a face-to-face branch service experience which will complement our online offering. A third series of questions was around the theme of remuneration and salaries for both staff and directors. Decisions related to basic pay and performance-related pay are always intended to align with our commitment to the long-term sustainability of the business, values and objectives, and the culture of our society. The Executive Director benefit package is designed to motivate decision-making in the longer-term interests of both the Society and its members. We do regularly benchmark our remuneration position to make sure we are in the right place to retain and recruit talent. But we also don't want to be out of step at the top or, of course, at the bottom either. In 2022, as I mentioned, all employees received a salary increase of 4%, which is the largest annual increase in recent years. The Society also paid a bonus to employees at all levels based on individual performance. And as I also covered earlier, a one-off payment of £1,000 was made to the majority of employees to assist with the escalating costs of living over the winter months. We have received a number of questions relating to the theme of interest rate changes and how the Society has responded to Bank of England base rate changes. You will have heard a little about the Society's response to base rate changes earlier in the speeches. When we respond to base rate changes, we consider the potential impact on both mortgage borrowers and savings members. Since last December's base rate change, whenever we have announced an increase in our SVR, we have also announced changes to saving rates at the same time. At present, we have increased our variable rate savings products by 0.7% more than we have increased our SVR. The final theme from the questions is in relation to the current events in the financial sector and whether members' money is safe in Suffolk Building Society. In response, I can say that the Suffolk Building Society is well prepared. We have a very well embedded risk management framework which facilitates the close management and control of all risks, and regular reporting is in place. We do not currently have any borrowings from the money markets, and we do not plan to acquire any. All of our loans are covered by member deposits. The Society's balance sheet is carefully managed to ensure the safety of our members' deposits and to meet all UK regulatory requirements. All savings up to £85,000 are protected by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. Overall, as you will have heard the Governor of the Bank of England say this week, the UK banking system is well capitalised and well funded and remains safe and sound. It is highly regulated. If there are any further questions in the room, do please raise your hand and we'll be pleased to get a microphone passed to you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We will now conclude this evening's formalities by me reading out the results of the voting. Resolution 1, to receive the report of the Directors' annual accounts and Auditors' report. Votes for 99%. I declare the report of the Directors' annual report and accounts is duly accepted. Resolution 2, to approve the Directors' People, Wellbeing and Remuneration report. Votes for 94%. I declare the approval of the Directors' People, Wellbeing and Remuneration report. Resolution 3, to appoint BDO LLP as auditors. Votes for 97%. I declare the reappointment of BDO LLP as auditors. Resolution 4, to elect Peter Elcock. Votes for 97%. I declare Peter Elcock is elected as a director. Resolution 5, to elect Rebecca Newman. Votes for 97%. I declare Rebecca Newman is elected as a director. Resolution 6, to re-elect Richard Norrington. Votes for 97%. I declare Richard Norrington re-elected as a director. Resolution 7, to re-elect Steve Reed. Votes for 96%. I declare Steve Reed is re-elected as a director. Resolution 8, to re-elect Elaine Lenk. Votes for 97%. I declare Elaine Lenk is re-elected as a director. All of these results will be available on our website within a week of this meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your attendance and your attention. I will now formally close the annual general meeting. And now to introduce the next part of the evening, before handing over to our Senior Independent Director, Fiona Ryder, to introduce our special guest, Dr. Khan, we would like to set the scene by showing you a short film about a very special project we are supporting as part of our partnership with Suffolk Wildlife Trust and our Saving Suffolk campaign. I will now ask members of the board to leave the stage, the lights will dim and the film will start. Thank you very much, everybody.
One of my earliest memories is going out on a bike ride throughout the summer holidays when I was 8 with my mum, collecting wildflowers from verges and drying them and putting them into a book and then entering them into a competition, which, would you believe, was a Suffolk Wildlife Trust competition, which I won. And then noticing the huge decline in those species over the subsequent 30 years. We know that there is a nature crisis happening right now. We know that there's a climate crisis happening right now, and we also know that they're inextricably linked. What we need to do is put into practice our strategic framework until 2030, which is to recover nature at scale.
Suffolk Building Society has been around for over 170 years, and we've been a really trusted organisation in Suffolk since that time.
We're not a typical bank, so we don't have to give our profits back to shareholders. We're a sustainable building society, and so we're here for the long term really, and part of that is making sure that we invest back in communities. When we were first established, it was to provide safe homes for people so people could have a piece of land and then get the vote as well. And I think that through time, it's still at the heart of everything we do. We're still really keen to make sure that people have safe homes, and that includes safe homes for nature as well.
Martlesham Wilds is a brand new nature reserve for Suffolk. It's 300 acres of beautiful land with fantastic views on the edge of the River Deben. We're going to be adopting this approach where nature takes the lead. In terms of wildlife moving out into the landscape, it's all about connectivity. So Martlesham Wilds is essentially going to be the cornerstone for wildlife within which it will start to spill out.
I had the opportunity to walk around Martlesham Wilds this afternoon, and I was so impressed with it. It's already a really beautiful space. However, if it is protected and rewilded, then it will really allow nature to take control.
Martlesham Wilds is a unique slice of East Suffolk. As Martlesham Wilds progresses, this change in land will be something that people will have never experienced before in any of our lifetimes. We need to get 1 in 4 people taking meaningful action for nature by 2030, so it becomes a societal norm. This is a unique opportunity.
We're working really closely with Suffolk Wildlife Trust to help that dream come true. So in terms of specific action that you can take, you can donate towards Suffolk Wildlife Trust, but also specifically to the Martlesham Wilds through Suffolk Building Society's website, but you can also pop into any one of our 9 branches and donate directly.